Hi, Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by Mark Shields, the head football coach for the MDI Trojans. Coach, another MDI new item of clothing. I'm very glad that you're working every possible item into the Allen Insurance and Financial Coaches Show. So good job. Congratulations. A big win against Houlton in the quarterfinals. Semifinals, I'm sorry. And I really thought that MDI it was playing their best game ever this season against the Shiretowners.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Chris. Overall, offense, defense, special teams, I thought, it was complementary football, as you hear a lot of football coaches talk about, in all three aspects. And, uh, when the game started, we, we took the kickoff, and I typically like to kick off first. I like to get my defense out there first, try to get the nerves out. But Houlton, they elected to kick to us, so we came out, and to their credit, they came right out of the gates, and they were pretty pumped up, and they
Yes.
stuffed us. They stuffed us hard that first series, and we had to punt, and fortunately, we were able to stop them and get the ball back. And it took a little bit offensively to get it rolling, but I credit Chris James and Elias Byrne. They had a nice game plan going in and a nice scheme, and I felt the kids executed that scheme very, very well. And then defensively, I thought overall we were solid. I still think we could tackle better for sure. Some of those quick athletes from Houlton. We talk all the time about belt buckle, belt buckle, belt buckle, and what that means is instead of looking at their head and their shoulders when they're doing all this juking stuff, they look at their belt buckle and their lower body, and that will take you to where they're going to be. And so we missed a few tackles, but overall, I thought we tackled fairly well. And then special teams, I thought we played well.
Yeah, I was always taught, I grew up playing rugby, is that, focus on somebody's belly button because your belly button can't move. I mean, you can move your shoulders, you can wiggle your hips and things like that, but you can't move your belly button. And it, I mean, that really was um, the best game I thought the defense had played. I'm just trying to pull up the stats here. I mean, you you held Houlton to just 82 yards total yardage in the first half and 105 yards in the game. And I mean, when you can do that, you're going to win.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So as the defensive coordinator, I felt the kids did a nice job executing the game plan, and we keyed on certain players as always. You have to try to take certain players out of the game, and for the most part, we did that. Number 44, he's just a freshman for them. He's a quick little guy, and he ended up busting a long one on us early on for their one score. That was our one big play we gave up, and after that, we sort of buckled down and held them in check.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, that was Braden Hallett, I think, who had a 68-yard touchdown. But I mean, you take that out, and I mean, 70 yards. I mean, you take that out, and they really had no yardage the rest of the game.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought for the first time we actually got some pressure on the quarterback, which I don't think we've done a great job at that. We've played some passing teams the last few weeks, and we just couldn't seem to get to the quarterback, but we were able to get to number 7 there, quarterback, Thursday night.
So who do you give the game ball to? I mean, I obviously you give it to yourself as a defensive coach, but I mean, you can't do that. But I mean, who are you giving the game ball to?
Yep. So we met as a team on Friday, broke down the tape. And Ripley Hawkins, our quarterback, I thought he did a nice job on both sides of the ball. Ripley came up and tackled well defensively. And then Lincoln Gray hadn't gotten one, and he has some big yards carrying the ball. And he played solidly on defense. So those two guys were well deserving.
Yeah, I think I had Lincoln pulling 218 yards, which, yeah, 16 carries, 218 yards. And Lincoln's been really more of a short yardage pound. I mean, really those he pays for those yards with his body. Most of them are kind of will sweep around or up the gut, and really hasn't broken a lot. But he had a fantastic game on Thursday. Yeah, I mean it's hard to believe it's kind of that Thursday game was really odd. So that that Thursday night he just ran wild.
Yeah, and one thing we noticed on tape with Houlton and playing them week one was defensively they seem to over pursue. If you're going one direction, they pursue hard that direction. So we were hitting them with a lot of counters, and Lincoln runs counters very, very well because he's athletic and agile. And Kenneth does too. Kenneth Stillwell. Kenneth is, I think, better maybe going north and south, and Lincoln maybe better on the counter. So it's a nice little 1-2 punch between the two guys. But yeah, I mean, we quickly discovered it was going to be maybe more of a Lincoln night than Kenneth because the way they did over pursue with Kenneth running straight ahead, and he still had, some good carries and a good
Oh, he
night.
had, I mean, 15 carries, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's not a shabby stat line.
No, no, I'll take that any game. So I thought both those guys did a nice job, and I really will praise the offensive line. Coach Mossing and Coach James worked with those guys, and they did a tremendous job. Our trap game looked really good for the first time in a while. So yeah, I thought overall it was a complete game, and we were pleased to get the victory and move on to the Northern Maine Championship.
So, I mean, that's obviously you want to be playing your best football as you head into the playoffs, and now we head back down to Camden Hills on Saturday. That game will tip off at noon. Um, a Saturday game is different. I mean, for MDI, a game against Camden Hills where Camden Hills has racked up a lot of points this season. I mean, I haven't done the math, but they've got to be averaging 35 to 40 points a game.
Oh yeah, no doubt, Chris. They are high-powered offense. They have multiple weapons that they can utilize. Starting with their quarterback, number 7, he's a senior. He kind of it all runs through him. And he can run the ball, he can throw the ball, he can do a lot. And then number 25, he's another senior that he's been solid for the last 2 or 3 years for them, and they give them the ball quite a bit. And then they have some other guys, some supporting characters. Number 6, I know the tight end wideout. We had trouble with him down here a few weekends ago when we played them. So yeah, they're going to be a handful to try to stop. I mean, you're not going to stop them completely. You can only hope to contain them, as they say. And it's going to be a big night for the defense to try to contain those athletes and try to hold them to a reasonable amount of points and allow our offense to get on the field. And I mean, obviously, if their offense has a big night, then it's going to be, or a big day, I suppose.
Right.
It's not
We
going to
want them to
feature.
have a big night. We don't want them to have a big day. Just save it
Yeah,
for Saturday night. But right.
exactly. So yeah, and then obviously special teams, turnovers, all the stuff we talk about on this show. When you're playing a team that is that high powered, you just can't be putting the ball on the ground. You can't be throwing interceptions, or you're not going to beat them, and you can't give up big plays on special teams. So we're going to have to be solid in all aspects of the game.
Right. I mean, Camden Hills, MDI, it always seems like it comes down to this for the Northern Maine uh, regional title.
Yeah, it's funny when they came down here a few weeks ago. I ran into Coach Christie, their head coach, and one of his assistants, and we're like, "Oh, here we go again." And it's because every time we play, it seems like it's a dogfight and
Right.
usually just a hard fought game, and it was a few weekends ago. So I'm imagining it's going to be the same come Saturday at noontime. That both teams will be ready to go. Both teams are going to be fired up. I mean, you win that game, and next thing you know, you're in a state championship. So it doesn't get bigger than this, really, much bigger.
What's the practice schedule like for this week? Having that extra day.
Yeah, it's nice because we almost picked up 2 extra days where we
Right.
played on Thursday. So
Right.
typically Monday, I bring the guys in, we lift weights and we look at film. Well, we did that on Friday already. So we're going to get out on the field tonight, and it's going to be a so-called work day. So we're going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as work days, and then your Friday's your pregame and Saturday you play. So So that gives us a little more time to prepare to try try to stop these guys and try to figure out a way to get the ball in the end zone for sure. And so yeah, so we're actually practicing on the alumni field because now with the time change, it's going to get dark around 4:30.
Right? Yeah.
We practice till 5:30. So Mr. Dow has given the green light for us to do practice the entire week down there on the varsity field, which is nice.
Well, it's soccer season's over. I mean, it's got all winter and spring to recover.
Right. It's just us and the cross country team left now. They have New England's this coming weekend, and we have the
Correct.
Northern Maine. So the other teams are done, and
Well, how
this is
about
done.
shout out to the MDI volleyball team on winning their first ever state gold ball.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, the fall teams have done very, very well. Very competitive. Even our girls soccer team, they won some games this year, and you can tell they're moving in the right direction. So I think Mr. Dow's been quite pleased, and he just made sure that we're not going to be tearing up the field. He did send that message back when I asked to use the alumni field, and
Use
of course we won't.
use
So
sneakers, right? Yeah,
yeah,
use sneakers and put down pillows so that
yeah,
way you won't tear it up.
yeah. We're hoping he doesn't come out much. So
It'll be
till till
dark. He'll
till
he'll be
maybe April.
home. He'll be home, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
dark. It'll be cold.
yeah, he
It'll be
should be out
rainy.
there.
He's not coming out.
No.
It's an early departure Saturday morning. The boys will have to get up early boys and girls, excuse me,
Right.
who will to head down to Camden or
Yep.
Rockport,
So,
Rockland. Yeah.
yep. Camden. Yeah. So the bus is leaving at 8:15, and I would say this time of year by bus probably take a couple hours to get down there. 10:15, 10:30. Get the guys Briella suited up, and usually we're on the field, an hour before kickoff. So I think it'll work out well. Hopefully, and no problems traveling.
No, shouldn't. I can't knock on wood, except, well, talk about traveling difficulty. Poor Houlton. I mean, their bus broke down. I mean, that's going to be the coach's worst nightmare. I mean, here you are, you're trying to get down there, and then the bus breaks down. And I mean, we were talking about in the press box, we've had bus breakdowns on the way back from Caribou and Presque Isle after the game for basketball. But luckily, I've never been on a bus that's broken down on the way to a game.
Yeah, yeah, they were pretty stressed out, and Mr. Dow was great. The officials were great. Just take as much time as you need. We sent a bus up. Fortunately, they had gotten as far as Ellsworth,
Right.
and we collected them and their equipment and got them down here. And it was one of those things like you got the guys all ready to go. You're thinking kickoff at 6 o'clock, and then you have to adjust everything.
Right.
And I thought the kids, once again, we talked to the kids. Some things you can't control, and this is one of those things. So we just got to make the most of it. I know everybody was itching to get on that field and get that game started, including myself.
Well, including me. I was ready to get home. I thought I was going to be home a good hour earlier than what I was.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was a conspiracy, Chris, to keep you here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, it worked out well. The Houlton guys were awesome. They were like, just give us time to get warmed up, and we're ready to roll. And their fans, their families. I think a lot of those county teams are just used to traveling. So when
No doubt.
after the game, I'm outside the locker room and said, "Geez, you guys won't get home until whatever, 1 a.m." And oh no, it's fine. We're used to it. So I mean, they made the most of it.
Yeah. All right. All right, Coach. Best of luck this week. I think we'll talk on Thursday as we normally do, and yeah. I mean, on to the regional finals, and it's hard to believe that. Gosh, we're into mid-November or early November, and one way or another, it's either this week or next week, and hopefully it'll be next week for the state gold ball.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, when it, Chris. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking on my calendar on my desk, and it says November 17th, winter sports starts. So
Right.
we're getting
Well, I
close.
mean, yeah. I mean, but that's what it was a couple years ago when Maine won their first, when MDI won their first gold ball. It was, I think, fall sports had was going to start, and there were most of the boys from the basketball team were playing football at that point. So
Yep. 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 Well, we hope we delay their season a little bit more this year.
exactly, I'm sure Justin would be
Oh, he wouldn't mind.
he'd be good with that.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Have a good week. We'll talk to you on Thursday, and go Trojans.
All right. Thanks, Chris.